Hello everyone and welcome. Today I'd like to show you how to do your guitar assignment using SoundTrap. SoundTrap is available at soundtrap.com. You can sign up for the free account and it will meet the needs for our class. Once you have signed up for a free account, you'll see and have logged in, you'll see your username here, and over here you'll see the studio button. Click on the studio button and it should take you into the studio where you can create a new song. You will notice that as far as new songs go, you have both music and podcast available to you. Since we're doing a song, we'll go with music. The next step will be to click on the Add New Track button in the upper left-hand corner. And because this is going to be a guitar and bass project, we will click on Guitar and Bass. Alright, you may get a question that says please allow MIDI access. You can go ahead and tell it okay to that, or you can just wait till it times out. The next step will be to change your guitar to the acoustic guitar, and notice that C3 is our lowest note over here. I actually want that to be C2. In order to do that, I had to press the down arrow button twice to go down to C0 and up arrow button once to go to C2, but now I have C2 as my lowest note. Okay, at this point you need to know a little bit about playing the keyboard in order to record these guitar tracks. So let me teach you a C chord. You'll notice here that the first note down here is the C. It's played with the Z key. Okay, the E is played with the C key. Okay, and then the G is played with the B key. So we're going to be doing a rhythmic pattern that sounds like this. Okay, and what we're going to do, however, is not continue to use the same notes on that all the time. So in order to do that, you're going to have to learn 3 more chords. Alright, so here we go. And that's what we're going to be playing again and again. So let me just go ahead and show you if I could here. C, E, G. Okay. C, F, A. This chord, E, A, C, and this chord, D, G, B. And you can notice that these chords have the same pattern except the first one. So the first one is every other note. The next one is skip 2 and then every other note. And then you start on E and do skip 2 and then every other note. And then you start on D and skip 2 and do every other note. So once again, and once you have practiced that and have reached the point where you will be able to do that in time, you are ready to begin recording. Well, okay, there is just a little bit more setup over here. Over here you will find a button that indicates the metronome is off. You will need to turn that on so you'll be able to keep the beat. Also, over here you will see a little settings button for your metronome. You're going to need to pull that down to the clave so that you can hear it and turn it at least halfway up. And the computer's also telling us that we have a 2-bar count in. So after we press record, we're going to need to wait for 2 bars before we start recording. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hit record and show you how to do this process. Here we go. If you make a mistake, you can just simply Command Z to undo and then re-record. I'm going to move that all the way back to the beginning because that's where I want it to be. I'm going to also click on the edit button that's found up here so I can edit these notes and make sure that they are correct. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit here And you may have to, after you zoom in, scroll back to the beginning like this. And hopefully you've played this accurately and everything is correct. As I'm scanning through here, I'm not terribly unhappy with what I have, but one thing that I did was I did end on this beginning chord, and I wanted that to come in on that beat instead of at some other time. Okay, yes, now as I look at this, I do see one wrong note here, and so I'm just going to click on that and delete it, and then just drag this correct note over here to about the correct place. May not be exactly right. You might have to zoom in more to get more accuracy with the dragging. But as I scroll through this, once again, it looks like all of that is correct. So yeah, we're almost done here. Okay, I'm going to hit the X button up here to close that. I'm going to hit the Add New Track button again. We're going to go back to the guitar and the bass. And this time, it still continues to ask you for MIDI access, apparently. You just have to let that time out. We're going to go down here. We're going to choose a bass guitar. Now, the first bass that comes up is bass harmonics. That is not the sound that you want. Click again. Oh, this Billy Rocks bass will be just fine. It happened to have come up with C1 as my first choice here, and that's actually what I want. And for this, we're going to play the bottom notes of the chords that we played before. The bass only plays a single note while the guitar plays chords. And that's the pattern that we're going to do. So I'll hit rewind to make sure I'm at the beginning. I will press the record button, and then I'll wait my 2 counts and then 2 measures and then come in. Okay, now I successfully recorded that in one pass, so very happy about that. I'm going to go ahead and hit the X button to cross out of that. I should also tell you that up here it's going to be my intention to go ahead and split these tracks right here. So I just select them, right click them and choose split regions, and then I'm going to throw away this extra material there at the end of that. Now, there's only one other track that I want you to add to this, and this is building off of what we did last time in the program. Hit the Add Track button again, and we're going to do drums and beats. And so for this, what I would like you to do is to do a pattern similar to what we did last time with the drums. So let's put the bass on beats 1 and 3, and the snare on beats 2 and 4, and we'll put the hi-hats on beat yes, and 2 and also and 4 and. Now, actually, I'm going to add one more instrument to my composition this time. It's going to be a rim shot, and I'm going to put that on 1, on the and of 2, and then I'm also going to put it on 4 and. And now I am done composing my drums. Oh, I do need to set the instrument, so let me switch this over to a drum kit that I like. I happen to like the 60s kit, so I'm going with that. And now you'll notice that I only have one small bubble for the drums, one measure. I only composed one measure, but I want the drums to play the same thing all the way through until the last note, and then we'll just let the acoustic instruments play the last note. The guitars play the last note. Okay, let's rewind and press play, and you'll be able to hear the entire composition. Okay, I probably could clean up the rhythm a little bit more in the guitar parts because I didn't play quite as precisely on the beat as I did on the drums. If you want to re-record, you are very welcome to do that. In fact, you may want to do your drum track first so that as you record, you'll be able to stay precisely with the drums. You might also find that it's useful to turn the bass up just a little bit. I think it's a little hard to hear the bass here, and I might even just turn the drums down a little bit since perhaps we're not quite as precisely with them as we would like. And now we are done with our project. Let's see what I accidentally did there. Whatever the automations, we're not going to use those, so if you accidentally hit that, just turn them off. Go to the file menu, choose Save As, and we will call this Guitars 1. And it tells me that that is done. And last time we found that if we come here and go to the File menu and choose Export and Export Project to MP3, it tells us this project is still being mixed on the SoundTrap servers, and so you would just keep coming back here until you are successful at doing that. But let me also show you that that actually does work. So I'm going to go over here to the Exit Studio button here, and this is going to take me back to the list of songs, or to the login screen that you saw earlier. I have logged in. Here's my studio. But if I scroll down on the screen, here are the projects that I have done so far. And I previously did this guitar demo, and if I press play, I'd be able to hear it. And that's a lot more precise as far as the rhythm goes, so you might want to practice until you can reach that level. I will just also go ahead and tell you that when you're ready, you can just go ahead and hit the download button here, and this will request that you give it permission to download. And you could also email this to friends if you want to. There's a link here that you could share so people could listen to your song if you copy and paste that link, or email it to yourself. We'll organize this differently. And you will find this guitar demo song, which is the one that I just did, and it will be in an MP3 format, and this is what you submit on your learning management system. We happen to be using Canvas for this class. Okay, I hope that's helpful. If you have any questions, you know how to reach me. I look forward to hearing your projects. Bye now.